give you the answers on WEFM 99.9.
Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in our use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
All right, it is 8:10 right here in SVG, and you are listening to the clean, fresh sound of 99.9. At this time, we are having our COP chat segment right here. So joining us in studio this morning, we have Officer Sean Chandler, a sergeant of police in the narcotics unit, Officer Carla Bergin of Police Control, and Officer Tivon Matthews, also of Police Control. Officers, good morning.
Good morning. Pleasant good morning.
How are you doing? How are you feeling? Feeling irate? You look and sound shy. Are you shy? No. Okay.
The setting. For me, it's the first being here at the WEFM radio station.
Okay.
But I am no stranger to various
Dianna radio.
Other platforms or programs such as this, but being here, it's a first.
We welcome you. Welcome. We will roll out the red carpet. I hope you saw it, right? All
right. So I will give you this opportunity to introduce yourselves.
Yes, what are we talking about?
Oh. So, as I was saying, our topic this morning is tools for confidential crime reporting. So, with the three officers here this morning, we are going to discuss tools for confidential crime reporting. Sorry. So, I will hand you over to the officers, and let's start with the young gentleman right here. Officer Matthews.
Okay. Pleasant good morning to St. Vincent and Grenadines. I am Constable 9 Matthews. My first name is Tivon. I am stationed at the Kittels police station and attached to the telecommunications department. I've been working there for the past 2 years and about 3 months.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Good morning, St. Vincent and Grenadines, those in diaspora listening to us. So my name is Carla Bergin, Police Constable number 30, stationed at Kittels and attached to the telecom department. Just over 3 years. But I'm a seasoned police officer. I have 21 years service.
All right.
And good morning again to the listening public of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, those who listening to WEFM radio station on a daily basis, to those listening in the diaspora, and those on other social media platforms. My name is Sean Chandler. I'm a sergeant of police, number 490. I am a police officer for going in 23 years. I am presently stationed at the narcotics unit, of which I am the NCO in charge there. Yeah, so the topic this morning, it's an intriguing one, so I am looking forward to the
discussion.
The discussion and interaction. Okay.
Yeah. So
all right. Okay.
That's it from me until we dive down into the meat of the matter.
Well, let's
Thank
get
you.
right into the meat of the matter. There's no time like the present. All right. So, what are the tools in terms of confidential reporting? So, what is confidential reporting in the first instance?
Well, I would say confidential reporting, it's the way that the police accepts the information that they get from persons who have such. The identity of the person is not really of interest to us as police officers who carry on our daily routine. So the information, it doesn't matter how small it is, it would give us a boost to go forward in our investigation. So this program this morning is to help the listening public to be confident in giving such information to the police. The definition that I give, it's not a book worthy definition, but it's just something that for listeners who are not so intellectually inclined would understand what we were really speaking about. Thank you.
Okay. So, and what are some of the methods for confidential reporting? Or I should probably ask, is any information too small in a sense that can be reported?
Based on the question, the information too small, it's not, in my opinion.
It's never too small.
It's never too small because the police officers, we are trained enough in the respective fields to use that information and develop it go into the communities using the little information we have and try and see how close we can get to closing a case. So we are not looking for a whole vast amount of information. Just a little of information, it's good for us. We know what we want, so we will take the information. If we need clarity on a particular area, we might ask that, but we keep the person out of the investigation, completely out. And that is one of our top priorities. Safety of the person who called. Yes, please.
Want to add anything else? No?
I need to say like little information. Sometimes you might already have certain information, but by gathering more, you put the case together to make it to solve the crime.
Okay.
So even you might say, I only saw a particular color, a shade. You can describe that person. We can put it together and build a case.
And then I suppose, so if everybody gives a little, it helps to add up and helps to corroborate whatever is being said.
Exactly. Everybody collaborate
Right.
together. This person did this person said that. And we put it together, that makes sense. That is this, it's the meaning of this person.
Yes, and to add a little to the color that my colleague mentioned, we might get information about John Doe who just committed an act, and the police would not be on spot. But because we have the information, we might have a description, we might have a dress code of the person, we can relay that information to other persons on the ground, and you are lucky sometimes to meet the person dressed the same way, or there are times when the person already, change their clothes, but being tactful, you can still apprehend if you're tactful.
All right. Now, what are some of the methods for confidential reporting?
Some of the methods for confidential reporting that we really use, advise person to use, is we have what we would say the toll-free lines. That's like the 911 or the 999, which control usually operate at times. There are also direct hotlines. Like for the narcotics department, we have 456-4108. Persons can also use the 457-1211 police line. There are other platforms that persons could use, like they could use the public relations and complaint department platform to give the information. They have also emails, but these emails are like things that are put in place. You have like text messaging platform as well. These are stuff that are put in place. And by so doing, is where the police go in the community. We build a rapport with certain persons in the community, and by exchanging numbers, we could have information as we go forward.
All right. So I see a crime committed and I call, right? My information is critical to this investigation. Do you take number? Do you do call tracing? Do you, yeah, let me leave it at that.
As Sergeant Chandler would have stated, you can use the 911 line. Myself and Kyla Bergen operates those lines. As he said, it's a toll-free line. So when calling to report, all you have to simply state is, I wish to remain anonymous. When you do that, we wouldn't take down your name or your contact information. All we do is just gather the factual information. Just a reminder, our goal is to gather facts, not identities. So please don't hesitate to give information.
Okay. So I can be assured that callers' ID isn't present and you haven't written down my number, right?
Yes, you
Right.
can be assured
Yeah?
of that.
Yes.
All
That
right.
could not happen.
Okay.
All right then. So I think you walked us through the steps already of when persons first see something or hear something and they wish to report this. Could you, I don't know, go get into some of the specifics on how this may help in the how it will help in your without getting into details, because we understand you know you can't really get into, but explain to the public how that would assist.
Well, if someone calls this station to relay some information, when they call the hotline, straight off the bat, colloquial terms, after that, straight off the bat, I know that the information that is coming here, it's crucial, right? So they call, they give the information as I stated earlier. I would take down all the information without interrupting the person. And the person would try to say something that, in my opinion, I would stop them before they even give that information as to what going on the line of identity.
Okay.
Because some persons, because of how they are brought up, they tend to give that piece of information first. So you will stop them, right? And we will jot down all the important information. If we need, if it's wide and we need to narrow it down, we will do that, right? Also, one of the things that I does and advise other persons to do in the department is that you do not put the person on a spot. Because for me, I would like to know, okay, you and this person had any exchange of words or anything, because that would give out the identity of the person. If the police, if something just happened to you today and you just go and you hit one time, it's different than if
Okay.
a offense committed, let's say in Little Tokyo, because there's a number of persons there. So it would be harder for the perpetrator to pinpoint who the individual is that called the police, right? So if it's in a narrow sense, we usually be careful and keeping the person's safety at hand. So sometimes there might be a little lapse in coming to deal with the particular incident, if you understand what I'm saying. Because if it's something that is heavily very serious, we would go. But if we know there are times that you would be bombarded by the person, which either get some hours lapse time and then we go, right? Taking into consideration safety of the person. I know the overlapping feature here would be, but Chandler, the person is reporting because they have this issue and it's of this highest concern, right? But I am not talking in that aspect. If you understand what I'm coming.
Okay.
What would happen in a case where somebody says, I want to show you, I can't explain this place, but I want to show you this particular, I want to take it and show you because I can't explain how to find it.
Right. If the person have that knowledge, there are ways and mechanisms that we use to keep the person's ID from being exposed. We might just use an unmarked vehicle and just drive And by driving, the person might point out certain things to us, and the vehicle would be, tinted and so forth. So a normal police vehicle driving through the community, they could just pinpoint X, Y, Z, and it's okay for us. Nobody would not see who is in the vehicle or some of that sort.
I'm just thinking of how small Vince is.
Yeah.
Especially when you have issues of community disputes or you knowing of certain activities happening within your community. It's kind of difficult because if I'm reporting on Dianna, who's my neighbor, then first person police come around, she's going to suspect it's me,
Yeah.
right? So what can you actually say to persons? Because I think the bigger issue here right now is getting people to feel confident
Yes.
in making reports, right? Because if you just show up in a village, we know we tend to know the persons in the village who are always complaining about things, all right? So what level or what confidence is there that you can tell persons that it is safe for them to report? Another thing too that we recognize is that sometimes we know people's voices, right? So even making a report and having that assurance that this officer hasn't written down my name and said Roleza called at this time because they recognize my voice, right? What confidence or what assurance is there for persons? What can you say to persons?
For persons who have that troubling mindset when it comes to police and information, I would say that community policing, that's a big thing right now, right? And by being in the community and speaking to persons, being community friendly, it's not just like the patrol just moving through a village. You stop, you interact with everybody, even the guys on the block. You interact with them. So we have a stigma where persons are not confident with the police with information. And we, the police officers, have to change that stigma when it comes to the public and information because we are intel driven. So the information for us, it's okay. So we have to build a platform, and this is where we have to build trust and transparency, because an individual, that person might have had a run-in with the police, and for that reason they might formulate certain things in their head, right? But the police, we have to make the person feel comfortable, confident. Once you give me this information, it's not going to be publicized. That is paramount. Safety.
Okay. I'm just thinking of scenarios in my head, though.
We're not saying that.
No. So what are the scenarios? So normally criminals will not snitch on each other, in a sense, right? But let's say an act is committed against a particular person engaged in criminal activity, and they call the hotline to report on somebody else. And let's say in their description of what they're doing, you recognize that they're also involved in criminal activity. Could charges be brought against such a person?
Repeat the question, please.
Okay, so one criminal is reporting against another criminal, but through the description of what they're saying, you also recognize that they are a criminal, right? Can you then go and investigate the person who has called? Because they are ratting out another individual, but then through your understanding of what they're saying, you recognize that they too are not a law-abiding citizen. Right? What can happen in situations like that? And the reason why I kind of asking it too is that, all right, so let's say in the cases of a lot of murders taking place, right? A lot of it are the murders are unsolved, or you have suspicions of who is involved in certain activities. And sometimes it's those persons who are of the same clique or of the same ilk who would, or the same fold, who would know who is doing what, right? So suppose one of them calls and say, well, I know that such and such committed this act, right? And they might go into descriptions or whatever. And then you realize that maybe they know a little bit too much to not be involved. How would you handle situations like that?
Well, to handle a situation like that, I would take the information. During the investigation, we might pinpoint John Jones, and we would agree that there are co-accused, persons who commit crimes jointly. But because of bad blood, what inverted commas, bad blood, one would go and report against the other. There are instances where the police can use one person as a state witness, where the information is being used against another. We cannot disclose who the person who given the information is, because that in itself, it could be security hazard. So that person who is given the information, although they might be involved or was involved in another crime, at this particular point, the safety of that person and the information given is of top priority. So that person will be given the same treatment as someone who just call and give us information. We also can withhold the person's identity as well, because the crux of the matter is getting the perpetrator or perpetrators on board or arrested to answer the crime. It's of our number one priority. And I know there are instances where two persons commit a crime, but both of them were charged. Just mean that one would get a lesser sentence than the other. But based on the question that you asked, taking the information for the person is of top priority, and we have mechanisms in place where we can withhold the person's identity through identity hidden parades. Because we does that where persons could ID a person from a group of, I won't go down into details with that, but that is
We watch TV, so yeah. So it's like what we see on TV.
right. So basically,
Okay.
the same thing is applied.
Okay.
So we have it in place, and we would use those mechanisms to make sure that the public is safe.
Okay.
It's our number one priority, and I cannot stop stressing it. And plus, police officers, we are professionals. So we cannot carry feelings or share information given to us to other persons, because in the force there is a confidentiality policy that is for new police officers that enter in the organization, as well as the civilian staff who might be working among us. If they come across certain information, they know from that piece of legislation they cannot, they cannot give out the information, because they can be charged criminally for that.
Okay. So apart from the anonymous reporting, right? Let's say that the information that I have, this is not anonymous reporting. This is me giving information, wanting for the case to go through, and me being critical to this person being convicted. What measures are there in place for me to be protected in terms of giving evidence?
We have
A witness protection program
where we use as well. We can have persons giving that evidence via a video link, which they usually call, other countries would use CVP. It's where they're linking video in a courtroom setting in order to have the information being discussed. All parties taking part in that particular matter would be present, but just need the identity of the person who have the information in order to that could carry the matter further off, get a result in the matter. Those persons can give their evidence through video linkage, and they also can be elsewhere.
No video linkage, right? Because You also have to let persons know that this is safe, because video linkage, do you mean that my face is showing,
No.
that my voice as it is now will be heard the same way?
No, please. The thing is, and not being a professional in that field or a skilled personnel in that field, the IT department sometimes are the one who are vested with assisting the court in that part of the procedure or case that they have before, where they have certain persons who they identity our voice they don't want to, they have the way how they do it. So not being a professional in that field, but having the knowledge, the IT department assists the court at time where the evidence are given in certain matters through video linkage, just the voice you would hear, they might have a blur on the face, and so forth, for the protection of the person.
Okay, and our confidence, sorry, Dianna,
No,
sorry.
it's okay. It's okay.
And for confidential witnesses, are all witnesses disclosed ahead of time? Because I'm thinking of the lawyers for the person, the accused, right? Would they know ahead of time who the witness is who's coming forward? Because not that I'm saying anything against our lawyers, right? But for my safety or for my surety that the person who is being defended, that their lawyer doesn't leak my name to them, what happens there? How would I be totally protected and covered?
I like your question, right? Now, the police force, we are using what we call paper committal, right? And we know when persons give evidence, they are being placed on that form. Now, the DPP's office, they are the one, I believe, that was responsible for bringing such documents to the fore to help protect the victims and so forth, our witnesses. Now, yes, there are disclosures in court, but the same paper committal that have, let me say, person X name, that and where the person is living, that part of the information is being excluded, where it's being covered. So the rest of the information, the defense lawyer would have access to it, right? But the identity of the person, name, address, etc., those are being withheld.
Okay.
And the lawyers themselves, they understand that the safety of the person is paramount. Yes, they have a duty to perform for the clients, but they too understand the procedure and the system. So the police, we know what our duty is, and we work along with the public and all entities, all hands on board in order to fight the crime, because the crime is not just the police thing. The lawyer have his task as well to make sure that his client is given a fair trial. So that is his duty. The police have to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the person did commit this crime. And the police too have to protect their witnesses as well. So we would exclude the information from that part of the information, name and so forth, from disclosure. But the defense would have all the information. Sensitive information would be excluded.
Okay.
Hope I answered the question.
You did.
And with that, we are going to take a short ad break, and then we will be right back.
Do you want to feel clean or refreshed after using the bathroom, whether at home, work, or play? Welcome to My Smart Toilet Seats. All of our products wash your private parts after using the bathroom without the use of your hands. Let's hear what our national table tennis champion, Damian Dublin, has to say.
I tried it and it works. There are 4 options. Simply add an attachment to your existing toilet seat, or choose a non-electric seat, or better, an electric seat that washes and dries you with warm water and air. Lastly, get a complete smart toilet that also flushes itself. What are you waiting for? Get your smart toilet seat today. Be smart, be refreshed, be clean, be be a winner like me.
Our smart toilet seat is available throughout St. Vincent at retail outlets with the orange flags. You can call us at 457-1703 or visit our website at justwashit.vc.
Yes, sir.
Our industry relies on all of us to play our part. We take pride in showcasing our beautiful island, our craft, our cuisine, and our warm Vincentian hospitality.
Each of us play a crucial role in showcasing our vibrant tourism industry.
We can create spaces where visitors can unwind, connect with nature, and embrace tranquility of our beautiful surroundings.
We need everyone on board to help us create an exceptional experience for our guests.
Join us at our National Tourism Community Consultations as we shape the future of tourism in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
It's everyone's business, yeah. Live it, love it, embrace it.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines, are you ready? On Saturday, November 9th, Third Element and Nouvelle Lay presents Rise Reggae SVG. Live on stage, the gentleman himself, Romain Vogo.
The soul divider.
Romain Vogo. From the royal family of reggae, Rams Morgan.
To deserve the love of a woman like you.
Rams Morgan.
For people like you.
And the great one, Jamil.
The strongest soldiers get the hardest fight.
Jamil.
Lose them soul for in the world. When I switch for the table turn.
Rise Reggae SVG, the concert of the century. On Saturday, November 9th, Victoria Park. Gates open at 8 p.m. Tickets are available island-wide or online at ticketpal.com.
Sparrows, 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 rum of your sophistication. Sparrows, sparrows, rum, aged to perfection. Skillfully crafted and forged with time in oak barrels. A rum so divine. Discover authentic Caribbean rum. Sparrows, premium rum. Sparrows, full-bodied rum. Sparrows, pure sophistication. Discover authentic Vincentian rum. Sparrows, premium rum.
Distilled and blended by St. Vincent Distillers Limited. Please drink responsibly.
Agents, Careers, Distributions Limited. Looking to upgrade your home without breaking the bank? Now's the perfect time. District Stairs, huge independent sale. Get up to 45% off on selected items, including luxury vinyl planks, waterproof laminate, crown molding, baseboards, and more. So whether you're transforming your floors or adding the perfect finishing touch with elegant trims, we've got you covered. Hurry on in today. These deals won't last long. Visit District Stairs in the Russell Shopping Mall at Stony Grounds and turn your home into the masterpiece it deserves to be. District Stairs, quality you can trust, prices you can afford. Call us right now, 456-7649.
99.9 WEFM. Cop Chat. You've got questions for the police? They're here to give you the answers on WEFM 99.9.
The world has become such a cruel place. Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in our use today. We
We are back with our Cop Chat segment right here on Activated Mornings on WEFM with myself, Dianna, and Roleza. This morning in studio, we have 3 police officers joining us discussing the topic Tools for Confidential Crime Reporting. We have Sergeant Sean Chandler, Constable Carla Borgin, and Constable Tivon Matthews. Remember, you can be a part of the discussion if you wish to make comments or you wish to pose a question. You can call us 457-9997. You can get us direct or you can get us on WhatsApp. So to go straight back into the discussion, officers. Now, one of the biggest issues is the Vinci public. They have this trust issue with the police, no doubt from things from before, right? So let's address that.
Yes, I would like to just jump in on this one,
Mhm.
and it's addressing trauma and systemic issues. Now,
Shannon, come forward a bit, please.
yes, trauma informed approach. This is really recognizing that trauma and past experience can influence how individuals interact with police or law enforcement agencies. Now, trained police in such areas, because right now we have a lot of qualified police officers who are trained in, let's say, social work, and they too can use their skills and ability and help persons to, be confident with giving police information, because the way how I react, it would have a stint on the organization and making persons not feeling comfortable. But Relisha, who might be an excellent police officer, she might did her studies in, let's say, communication, and she might be so skilled that she would build that trust back into that person and have that person coming forward and giving the information, right? So past history sometimes, I believe, is what is hampering us today. But I would say being tough on crime, we sometimes we have to go as the word say, be tough on crime. And a simple police officer that just leave the training school, that person is vested with the powers of a police officer. And persons as such are being, let's say, pushed around in public because the public would believe, or certain persons in the society would believe, that this person in acquire the amount of knowledge and experience and the know-how to get certain things done. Right? So the public have to understand that the police is here for them. Right? So your past experience should not hinder you from stopping a perpetrator from committing a crime that he is so comfortable in. We know serial killers, but have those persons who usually continue with a certain crime pattern. And we are asking you to come forward, give the information. Please feel comfortable with the police. The police is your friend. The police would be tough on crimes, but it would not be to those persons in society who are law-abiding citizens. Sometimes the person who have most queries are the person who have a problem with the laws of sentencing and the grenadines and the way the police enforce those laws. So I'll give my colleagues some time to go through as well, because you know how it is.
Okay. I think one of the other questions that I have as well is, okay, so yes, I've given information, not anonymously, but I've given information, and I'm hoping, trusting, praying that this information would be confidential, right? And yes, so if the matter has to go forward to court proceedings, what normally happens there to me as a person who's providing this information? What support is actually given to me there? What assurance is being given? Is there somebody to walk me through the process in terms of presenting information? Is there somebody who's going to be checking upon me to make sure that mentally I am still okay to present this information? What support is actually there for somebody who has decided to come forward and to give evidence in court?
Well, I would say yes, there's support. As mentioned before, there's a witness protection program that will be offered to you when it's time to give your evidence in court. Now, as I say, there's a paper committal. If you don't really want to go to court, they can use that in court as well. I think there's closed court. It will just be the witness and the accused and the magistrate and so forth will be there. So you'll be safe somehow. You know.
But I suppose I'm also looking at the emotional aspects, because testifying in court is not something you do every day, right? So many persons get nervous, and as we all know here in SVG, a lot of convictions happen through eyewitness accounts. And one of the things that we have to be so mindful of is persons who back out at the last minute from testifying. So in terms of that police emotional support, what is there to ensure that persons actually follow through and, you know, do, well, quote unquote, civic duty in terms of presenting information or giving evidence?
Well, once a person entered that state of mind, because as you correctly said, a person will be confident up until the point when they have to give the evidence in court. And yes, they might be traumatized by the way the perpetrator committed the act in their presence. They might not be on spot. They might be traumatized. So they too might pull out of the last minute. Officer, I don't feel comfortable, because being in the same position with the defendant, the accused, sometimes it could be uncomfortable. There are some witnesses who would go and give the evidence, but we have to be mindful of those who are not that comfortable when in that setting. So the prosecution, they have a task as well, or a role to play in making sure that the evidence is being given. So they have a duty. They can ask the court based on the mental state of the person or the discomfort. We are asking for an adjournment, and they can put things in place so that the information can come forward. It's there, it's working. So I like your question, and this is why I am one of the persons who welcome such programs, because educating the public on certain issues, it was welcoming. It's welcoming. And we have to continue this trend using the social platforms, the radio stations, and try and bridge back the gap between the police and the public. So I welcome it, and I am looking forward for more things to happen, because St. Vincent is smart and we are moving slowly but into the right direction. So from the minute we have the international airport, we know that we have to put things in place, and they are already being put in place. Something, because when I came back to St. Vincent, I noticed those things in place. So I say, yeah, we're heading in the right direction. Too slow, but we are getting there.
All right, that's the forward is progress still.
All right. So, is it okay for me to play cop? No. What do I mean? I've seen something or I've heard something. I reported to the police, such and such with the case, but I don't feel like waiting on y'all. So I decide to go into my community, and whatever I saw on TV, I'm going there. I don't have anything to dust for fingerprints, but I feel like I should help out. No, let's talk about that. Is it okay for me to do that?
I will not advise it.
All right,
You can report it, but do not intervene.
We have a call. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Well, good morning to the panelists, and good morning to the announcers there.
Morning.
This is the one from the episode there. Number one, this is new procedures that take place, like these paper committals. How many cases has been convicted by the court are supposed to go into prison and they are and those issues. And
All right. So your question is how many cases? Repeat it for me.
Yeah.
How many cases have gone forward based on paper committal?
Right. No, not committed. Has actually given sentence in the prison.
Oh, okay. Any information regarding the stats of sentencing based on paper committal?
I
No.
don't have that information with me.
Okay.
And
Okay.
he was saying something else that I didn't really hear.
Okay. All right. That okay. Carly, do you have they don't have that information at this time. Do you have another question?
Yeah, one more question. The prisoner, the prisoners who is in these trials and so on, are they given the opportunity to question the person who are the person is giving the evidence, and they are giving this evidence without being seen our case. So that person has the same I must say, the same way as if he was actually before in a trial before the judge. If he has the same authority, I might be able to question.
Right. Okay. Cross-examination. Okay. So for somebody who's given video evidence, so we've spoken about it being anonymous, etc. It would be the lawyer in this case. Does the lawyer still have the opportunity to cross-examine that witness?
Yes, please. The lawyers have that opportunity. It's not taken away from them. The only thing that is being taken away is for them to physically see in the person's features, the voice and so forth might change a bit,
Altered,
but they still have all aspects of the courtroom setting when it comes to their client and getting clarity and sorting information from the witness.
Okay. All right, Carla, questions answered?
So far. And finally, there's another question I like to ask. Now, normally the weight, if you have any idea as to whether how much weight the judge would put on that evidence, given by the in-camera evidence, how much weight you think? If you have any idea whether or not that weight would be given to the questions to the prisoner who is standing in the back. If you have any idea.
All right. We get it. Okay, thanks. Is it? Okay. Okay, thanks, Carla. All right. He's asking if there's more weight being, well, I guess more or less weight being given to somebody who's doing giving evidence via video testimony.
To answer that question, I really actually hate asking from the judges or the magistrate. I cannot answer that question.
That's not question.
All right. So yes, it is an interactive program. Oh, we're down to 3 minutes. All right.
Yeah.
What was it we were asking just before? Somebody was asking something just before.
About the community, doing your own detective work, yes.
Yeah. So I will say before, you report the crime, but do not intervene because it's for your own safety and security. You understand? So you're protecting yourself as well.
Right.
So you done already done your part. You call 911. You do your reporting, and we will pass on the information to the relevant authorities who needs to hear this information.
All right.
Okay. All right. So we are down to the final 3 minutes. So I didn't realize the time went so quickly. So what happened when you watch plenty Perry Mason and thing growing up, right? All right. So what it is that I would like for each of you to do as a wrap up, based on our topic this morning, give us some final thoughts, especially words of encouragement to come persons to give evidence, or even before giving evidence, to just report information that they know. All right. So let's just hammer it in a little bit more in terms of from your vantage point, why person should? Let's start with you.
Okay. The reasons why persons should come forward and report, it will help the police, also the police officers to solve crime, because crime is a major problem in Stevens and Grenadines. So the smallest information you give us, whether it be a suspicious vehicle, overhearing a suspicious conversation, that can help with just help us deal with crime. Also to the anonymity, it is very important to use the 911 line and the 457-1211 line. Those lines are treated with confidentiality. All you have to say is, I wish to remain anonymous, and all we'll do is just take the information. We do not take names, we take facts. So don't be afraid to come forward and give information.
All right. So my encouragement that, yes, you see something, report it. That's the first thing. And you call 911. It's a free call. You don't have to have any credit on your phone. Officer XYZ is the case. We take down the information, we pass it on. Because you're looking at your safety in the community. The police, yes, we do our patrols, but something might happen when the police already pass. We can always follow up on what you report. Because you see something happen, you don't want it happening in your community, especially if your community is a quiet community. You see something now starting, you nip it early. You call so the police can respond and get this thing under control. So reporting is everybody's responsibility. Nothing is too small for you to report or to say, I saw this, I hear this is the case. It can build a bigger case. For some kind of crime or murder or something happened in the community. So please report.
All right, question. Sorry, and I'll give you the last one. But I know that the police also has a WhatsApp number, right? The 457-1211 is also on WhatsApp.
Yes.
Can I also use it? Because I might be in a position where I cannot call, right? I might see something happening, and for my safety, can I also WhatsApp the information?
Yes, you can WhatsApp it. We will, because we are always there monitoring the computers, the calls, everything. We will get that and we'll pass it on to the relevant departments that need to address this situation.
Lovely.
I'm wrapping my head around the final thing. Now, the WhatsApp call for the police, where the police control department uses. My colleagues are in charge of that. And where a WhatsApp message would come to the fore, yes, the number will show, but the number is not our top priority. The information and the thing that the public have to understand, yes, they use the number to send the information to the police. The police would not disclose or try and go and find out who this number is, or like save the number to try and get a picture. That is not our thing. Our thing is just the information, keeping the public safe. And I always say, information is so vital. It's how you use it. And in the community, and no matter what the program is, it always redirect itself to community and police. Join it to them, community policing. And being in the community, persons have to be mindful that, yes, their life is at stake based on the crime. And with the police also, we are not a macho man or a superhero. So our lives as well is on the line when it comes to fighting crime. We would not sit back and have persons being bullied in the community, especially when it comes to giving information. Persons have to understand also that the defense cannot bamboozle, as a word that just pops in my head, bamboozle the police to tell us who gave you that information. The judges or magistrates also would not do that to try and find out, officer, where you get that information from, because they understand the seriousness of the war, the police, their duty, the defense, but the police have to prove use the information and bring some, tell the court that this is the person based on our investigation who committed this crime, and they are here now to answer to that crime. If the lawyer sees that there is a loophole or something that the police did not do procedurally, then this is where we might have a setback. But information is what drives the police organization, because persons have to understand that the police, most of the time, we only respond. So the public is the engine room for the getting results in a matter, evidence. So we use the little information, as my colleague stated, we carry out an investigation, and the investigation, once it's done properly, using the mechanisms and authorities that we have, could point us in a particular direction to one or more persons or even a group. So no matter how little the information is, it's vital. And we welcome all the information. Use the platforms that you have and be trustworthy with the police, because some police officers would give their numbers to persons. Persons might not feel comfortable giving, let's say, Tom Jones, the police officer, but they might know SOP Junior Simmons and might feel comfortable giving the officer that information. They might feel comfortable giving the commissioner of police the information. And those persons now will use the same mechanism, call the department and, okay, I want you to go and deal with this. And you cannot say, oh, go back, it's Roleza. No, you are just giving me information just as it came. So from top down, same input, same things apply. And I could speak like 4 hours on this, or sometime but sometime an hour. When the program is at its end is when the information starts firing. So we encourage the public to continue and support the police. Yes, you can protect your community by giving the information. And a criminal will only be as comfortable in a community once he or she, and remember I did not say he, I said he or she feels confident that they have fear in the community. So if everybody in the community stand up, they would have to shift and find another breeding ground. And that is what I would leave this morning, seeing that this time has expired. Thank you very much to the staff of WEFM, the Commissioner of Police, and the rank and file of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. The butterflies was in my stomach being here for the first time, because I usually listening to the program and it's an intriguing one. Being here at this station for the first time. So I am looking forward to more opportunities.
You'll be back. You'll be back.
You're confident?
Like Arnold, you'll be back.
So, thanks again for having us.
All right.
You're welcome. And that brings us to the end of our Cop Chat program right here on WEFM. This morning, we were talking about tools for confidential crime reporting, and we learned a lot. I hope that you learned a lot, and we hope that trust is restored in the police force and will be restored. All right. So with that, we are out of our Cop Chat and we are heading into our bank rates.